Everybody, it's your boy the Mimical Master. Today I wanted to show y'all my top 3 branded Dracotail profile. I went to locals yesterday. I managed to get top 3 with it. I'm having a really good time playing this deck. I think this deck is awesome, and I just wanted to show y'all what I'm playing. As we do around here, we'll do the extra deck first, where I run 3 copies of Dracotail Arthalion. He's just the best fusion monster in the entire deck. He allows you to bounce equal to the number of monsters used for his hand, so at very least, you're always going to get 1 bounce. He is your turn 0 interruption kind of play that you use with 5 mana. And he is a big part of the reason why this deck has such a good resource and grind game. Up next, we play 1 copy of Dracotail Gulamel. I'm kind of thinking about upping him to 2, because in those really long grind games, I'm going to run out of Arthalions and other Dracotail fusions, and a second Gulamel would have been really nice to help me continue to fuse so I can continue to crunch away at my opponent's grind game as well. He allows you to pop whenever you activate a Dracotail card or effect, and then he has the same effect as Arthalion, where if 2 or more monsters hit the graveyard at the same time for like a Link Summon, a Fusion Summon, a Synchro Summon, anything like that, you can revive him from the grave. I play 1 copy of the new Dracotail Shaoless. This card isn't very good, if I'm being honest with you, but it's just a matter of, it's a Dracotail name. It is a extra fusion monster for me to go into once I've exhausted the 3 Arthalion and the Gulamel. He's just that 5th Dracotail name that allows me to continue to use like a Rahu as well. If I draw Rahu, and because I've already used like 5 mana, and like I've decided to fuse off of Ketu, a lot of the time you need a 5th one, especially if you're playing like against like a pure branded deck, because their grind game is also really strong. Now we move on to the Brandage package, where I run 2 Albion, the Branded Dragon. This is here for the Fallen and the Virtuous, as well as Titaniclad. But Titaniclad can also be used to help get over really big monsters that I normally couldn't with Dracotail. But most of the time, these are just my Fallen and the Virtuous targets. Now we run 1 Lubellion, 1 Dragon that Devours the Dogma, and 1 Mirajade, the Iceblade Dragon. These 3 cards are pretty much what I use the branded package for. I'll go Branded Fusion with Fallen of Abez and Malulu, make this, his effect, Chain Malulu, set, and then I can go into Mirajade. So it allows me to get a Disruption, and this card helps me start my Dracotail combo. Now we just have some random free agents. I run Chaos Star Source Dragon. His effect doesn't really come up, but a lot of the time he's a destroy 2, right? He's gonna try to destroy 2 cards on the field. In certain scenarios, that can be very helpful, because it allows you to, 1, get some stuff in the graveyard, and 2, help clean up your opponent's board a little bit. Most of the time, they're not going to let that resolve, but he is a really good card at putting pressure on an opponent as well. Then I play 1 copy of number 38, Hope Harbinger. The reason I play this is because after you use Arthalion's Bounce, this is just a dead card. It does nothing for me other than being a big old guy, so why not translate them into at least another spell negate? A spell trap negate. I can continue to get more negates out and use the Arthalions in a way that actually benefits me going into a winning game state. And last but not least, we play Hieratic Seals and SP Little Knight. SP Little Knight is here because it's just a really good card for if I have to play against like Anti-Spell Fragrance, which hits a deck like Dracotail really badly. I can make the SP with Arthalion, banish it. And then Hieratic Seals is just here for, like I said, with the Hope Harbinger, making use of the fusion names once they become a little more dead. Moving on to the main deck, we run 3 copies of Dracotail Lucius. On normal or special summon, she lets you add a Dracotail card, and then the same effect is all of the other Dracotail cards whenever she's sent to the graveyard for a fusion summon. She lets you set a Dracotail spell or trap. Then we have the best main deck card in the game, but like not even close. Dracotail 5 mana. This card makes it to where going second, you don't just die to like a big end board, because this allows you to kind of fight into that end board and kind of leverage it in a way to where the starters you have in your hand can be played to help break through that end board. So she's like, as you probably know by her, she's a turn 0 board breaker. And she also has the same effect when sent to the graveyard for a fusion summon. You can set a Dracotail spell or trap. Unfortunately, I'm only running one Malulu. Like, as I've been playing this deck after the ban list, I realized the second and third Malulu, they're really necessary. They're just more names to help you continue to fusion summon, and a free perma negate is never bad. Then I run 2 copies of Dracotail Urgula and 2 Dracotail Pan. The reason is because, like, so normally before I would go 1-1, but then after the Malulu ban, these are like the second and third copy of Malulu. They're just more names that can do impactful things. And against certain decks, like, one of my friends plays an Odeon deck. Whenever I play against him, I'll make sure to have an Urgula in hand, so when I pop 5 mana, I can go Urgula to destroy a spell or trap. Because I know that kind of interaction will have more impact on him than just me setting a Lucius for a fusion summon. You know what I mean? And then Pan also being a monster pop is good against like Xyz strategies, because if they have like double Xyz on board before they Xyz summon, you can go effect of 5 mana, fusion, send a Pan, make Arthalion target, Pan set, and then pop the monster. So you're getting rid of both Xyz materials, and you're setting up a big wall for them to have to beat over. Now, for me, for now, I only run 1 Blazing Cartesia and 1 Fallen of Valhouse. Once I get the new stuff, eventually, I'll be playing the 2 Fallen of the White Dragons as well. But for now, it's just Cartesia and Albaz. Then we play 3 Fuelos, triple Ash, double Veiler, double Droll, double Nib, and that wraps up the monsters and hand traps and all that sort of stuff. Now we go into the spells where I run triple Rahu Dracotail. It's just branded fusion. It's branded fusion, but a little bit better, because it's like Shaddoll fusion and branded fusion combined. Because all of the stuff that you're sending off of it, like with Shaddolls, will have when sent to the graveyard for fusion summon effects, and it allows you to use monsters from the deck, i.e. branded fusion. So this is a really good card, and with Ketu being limited, its importance in your deck has increased significantly, because it's now more ways to get starters going. So if you open this and any monster ever, you can start your Dracotail combo. Then I run 3 copies of the Fallen and the Virtuous. I need to pick up my 3rd copy. I'm getting it next week. I had it for the tournament, but this card is awesome. It's just a free pop, and that type of disruption is just so unaccounted for nowadays. It's good at targeting negation. It's good against like field spells and continuous spells. It's good against like link materials that need bodies to start climbing. It's good against pendulum strategies, because when they like go to pendulum summon, pop the scale, they don't get to finish that pendulum summon. It's awesome. And then with the right targets, like Albion, once I get the first one, I can guarantee that I'll have the other 2 as well. So it's just a matter of opening the card, and then I'll have 2 more activations of it later on in the game. Then we run 2 Branded Fusion. If it was at 3, I'd run 3. but it's at 2, so I gotta run 2 of it. This card is also pretty, like, this card's awesome. It lets you send a Malulu to make a Lubellion, or it lets you just use, like, a Cartesia engrave to make the Albion, and then you can Cartesia revive because Abez is in the grave. You choose not to activate Albion effect, and then you have, like, a quick way to make a Dracotail monster, or to make any other fusion monster in your deck. This card is so flexible for the combos that you're trying to do, but it's just so good and necessary. I run one Ketu Dracotail. Anybody in the comments, can they let me know why I'm only running one of this card? I mean, it seems like a 3 of. I don't know, though. But this card lets you add a Dracotail monster. Then, if your opponent controls a monster, you can fusion summon it. So, one of my favorite interactions with this card is, let's say I go Nib and I nib my opponent's board. The first time I activate this, I'll be able to add, and then I'll be able to fusion summon. And then the Dracotail can get rid of the token, and then I can just set my Dracotail spells and traps and combo from there. This card is awesome. It sucks that it got limited, but I'd prefer that the deck be hit softly than hard. Then just one Called by the Grave for the non-engine spells. Then we won, obviously, 1 Sting, 1 Horn, and 1 Flame. These cards are awesome. You can customize your end board to interact with your opponent's decks differently. If they're playing a real spell-heavy deck, Flame is better. If they're like playing like Sky Striker and they're trying to OTK a bunch, Horn. If they're playing like a Fiendsmith stuff, or like, hell, even a branded deck or anything like that, Sting is an awesome card to get, because you can send any of their monsters and or spells and banish them. A lot of decks really struggle to get materials back from banishment. And these cards, you normally, hopefully, get to end on all 3 of them, but a lot of the time, you'll just end on 1 or 2 of them. And I really like that because it lets you customize how your end board looks to match what your opponent is doing. And then finally, for the main deck, we run double copies of Infinite Impermanence. Now onto the side deck. I run double copies of Retaliating Sea for a mirror match, like if I have to play against Branded Dracotail. When they let's say they go Rahu or Ketu or Branded Fusion, I can summon this, and then for the rest of this turn while he's on their side of the field, any monster that would be sent to the graveyard is just banished instead. So they don't get any of their Dracotail triggers with this card. Then we run 2 Ghost Spell. Ghost Spell is pretty good in this format. It's not great, but it has applications against like Radiant Typhoon, against Dracotail itself, against some like lingering yummy builds that are still out there, against like some Malice builds that are still out there. This card is really okay against all of them. It's earned a spot as a 2 of in the side deck. Then the last one is Contact Sea, because with the Retaliating Sea, because they're gonna get rid of this card, right? They don't want their stuff to get banished, so they're gonna get rid of it. I'm gonna search Contact Sea, and then give them Contact Sea. So now they can't Xyz, Link, Fusion, or Synchro Summon without using the Contact Sea, and no Dracotail person has a way to Fusion Summon using this card. So this will pretty much try to just shut their turn off, and they're pretty much done with summoning for the rest of the turn. And then we play 1 Mirror Logic Aggregator and 1 Enigmaster Pack Bit. These are just Ultimate Slayer targets. These are the cards that turn Ultimate Slayer into a 2-for-1 kind of deal. This one was sent to the grave negates. This one is, a lot of people in this spot will play Golden Cloud Beast Malong over it. I don't like that idea, because Malong gives them the card back. It allows them to add that card that you just gave them back into the hand, so you'll have to see it again. This sends it into this Battle Trap Zone, which 1, takes up a back row space, and 2, no deck really has a way to get that material back unless they're going to like the Fallen and the Virtuous pop that specific card to get it in the graveyard, which hopefully then they'll have a way to get back. You know what I mean? This card really helps fully try to eliminate a material in a card from the field. Obviously, if my opponent's playing Snake Eyes, I might punch him for playing Snake Eyes in 2026, but they'll have like a weird way to out that. Double Droplet. This card's just nice. I sided in a lot against like Dracotail because, like I mentioned, that Artholion can just be such a huge issue that having a way to quickly respond with it that doesn't matter what the chain link is, I feel like is a very valuable thing to have. Then, as I mentioned before, Ultimate Slayer. This is just a good board breaker style card. It's technically a 1-for-1, but with the cards you play for it turns it into a 2-for-1. They can't respond to a monster effects. It's a really nice card. It forces them to waste more important interaction on a card that doesn't matter. Then we run double Raigeki. And then 1 Heartbeat's Feather Duster. And now for the last card in the side deck. While I'm not happy or proud of myself for it, if Konami's going to leave this card unbanned, you best fucking believe we're playing Anti-Spell Fragrance. Shuts off Dracotail, shuts off Mitsu deck, shuts off Radiant Typhoon. It shuts off every single deck in the meta right now because of how good of a floodgate it is. But enough about the floodgates. If you guys liked this Dracotail video, please let me know. If y'all want to see any other kind of deck lists, please leave comments down below. I would love to take a look at them, maybe even pick them up, learn them, and then explain to y'all what I figured out. But until then, remember, stay safe, have fun, be good people. See ya.